I don't really have time to like fix my hair or whatever. I'm high, but I was just sitting here. I got this idea and I wanted to make this video. I was watching an old video of mine and it had me thinking immediately. I was sitting there thinking about, I don't like that. And I was thinking about, it was one of those situations where I was like, well, maybe I should delete all these. And like I literally thought about, well, maybe I should delete the old videos. And I was like, well, that's kind of stupid. The reason is because the only reason I had that thought is because the man I am right now is the man that I wish was talking in those videos. Like I've so almost every video in 2022, okay, has a little bit of aggression in it, but that is because I went through the breakup in like August or September of 2021. From there until like November 2022, I was so affected that I couldn't not be a little hype or a little irritated or a little aggressive in the way that I was saying things, or because I free flow all my videos, it was an issue of like, because I'm free flowing, what's still in the back of my shit is I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm working on myself, and I'm constantly in the process of working on myself while I'm still making videos and just kind of documenting what's in my head. um, from 2022, like from that 2021, like August 2021 till November 2022, I you can just I talk about the breakup a lot. I talk about the fucking like I don't know, and I'm just so I don't know how to fucking explain it. But I was sitting there like, goddamn, I wish I said that differently, or there's just some things that I'll look back and I'm like, well, I hope people understand what I'm trying to say. Like, because, man, it's like one day somebody might fucking end up hating me. If somebody hates me, it'll be so easy for them to go through my old videos, make a bunch of clips out of context, and make me seem like something that I'm not. But that's why I was like, maybe I should delete. And I was like, nah, fuck it. Because really, it had me thinking, really the whole point of this was to document the journey. Like, I'm just documenting my journey, and that is part of the journey. That's part of being authentic is, well, even making this video, right? I was sitting here like, I'm just gonna make the video. Because I feel like if I would have got up, fixed my hair, did all that shit, I would have forgot what the fuck I was trying to say. Because what I'm really trying to say is that it's okay to grow, it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to document yourself when you're not a completed project yet. Like, I wasn't fully myself yet. Like, there's things, like, I literally was growing up. Like, I started making videos when I was 20, and I'm 29 now, so, like, 9 years into making videos, 9 years into this like psychedelic spiritual journey that I've went on, 9 years of like going on the journey to face myself and become myself, and like, because 9 years ago I was literally a thug type dude. Like, that's who I was. Like, it's so crazy because the man I am right now is me. The man that I was back then is what the world turned me into, like the environment, the society, the way life is in general, or just, ideas, or the ideas that I got from the world. Once I started getting ideas from psychedelics, once I started getting ideas outside of the world, that like the normal society world that we live in, that's when I started realizing, well, I can change if I want to. Like, if I want to, I can change. I don't have to talk like that. I don't have to think like that. I don't have to be like that. But also, ever since I've gone through this thing of like changing from like a thug to the person I am now, there's just, I don't want to go back to that. So like I just sit in a very authentic energy, you can say. So like I'm very authentic. So I could have easily made videos, in 2022. I could have easily easily got so fucking high before a video because I'm high right now and I'm high in most of my videos, but I'm not fucked up high. Like, because I can get pretty, like, fucked up high. Like, and I guess I'm pretty high right now because I wasn't intending to make a video, but I guess it's what I'm saying is I could have easily been medicated and highly fucking herbed out or whatever the fuck just so it looked like I was okay, or just so the videos didn't have some aggression in it, or just so and it's like what I've come to the conclusion of is I really don't care what people think about me. Like, people, if somebody's gonna judge, like, somebody who watches the videos, like, let's say 5 years later, if somebody comes across one of my videos I made in 2022, they're gonna be like, damn, Mark seems a little mad. Dude seems a little angry. I don't know, like, talking some shit, some real shit, but, like, seems like he's talking some shit. But it's like, if they have no idea that, well, I just went through like a breakup with the person that like I was literally actually in love with, and like first time living alone, I was in my apartment by myself, and like all of these things that happened in that time frame, it was the first time I had to immediately become I guess not independent. It's just, man, shit was just fucked, and I was fucked, and my mind was fucked, and like I was just trying to figure myself out and like keep myself together while doing the thing and documenting and making music and doing all this shit that I do, and um working on my ideas still, and not allowing a situation to stop me from doing what I was doing anyways. But it did affect the entire thing. that that anger, that sadness, that is great for music. Like fucking great. I from In August of 2021, I didn't know how to DJ at all. At all. Never touched a DJ thing ever at that point. But in December of 20 I think it was Christmas 2021, I got my DJ controller, and because of what I was going through, I was able to learn how to DJ in 1 year. Like 1 year, I was able to learn how to DJ and blend my songs together and do all this shit because I was so like whatever that I used it as drive, as motivation. So in the videos, like I was still like kind of motivated to make videos because I'm still thinking, I'm still living, I'm still doing. So I started getting into like more other things. I started like growing my TikTok, not just YouTube, and started growing like just different things, and I started just expressing me still. But the problem was me at that moment in time was sad and a little lonely and a little angry. So you can hear that in the videos. But as I worked on myself, had the psychedelic experiences to face myself, dealt with the shit, like learned, like I started getting in shape, I started working out, I started going on hikes more, I started like DJing more, I started spending more time with my daughter and my mother, I started like building the connection with them stronger, and just building the connection with myself stronger, like the ability to be in my apartment by myself alone for weeks, months, whatever, and never feel lonely. Like that took so much work because I used to self-harm. Like I've said, that's another thing. As I was going through, the thing in 2022, living alone for the first time, it's what made me want to talk about what I was doing. Like, what I was going through with self-harming and depression and anxiety and, like, what I was dealing with all that, I didn't talk about it. Like, I feel like me sitting alone for so long, I was able to sit there and think about me and what the fuck is wrong with me. And, like, I was able to just be like, okay, that can't happen again. Like, so, like, there's certain things that happened, like, giant things that happened in 2022 that were so life-changing that, like, it changed me forever and my life forever and the way I think forever. And it was just rough. It was just hard. And, like, it's one of these things that I'm like, I'm not really embarrassed of my hardness or whatever. Like, if somebody went through the shit that I've gone through, they'd be a little hard as well. Like I got a little I'm not the typical hippie, whatever. Like, I'm a little rougher on the edges. I'm a little whatever, but that's because of where I come from and what I've gone through and what I'm going through and just life in general. But I feel like I'm managing pretty damn well. I feel like I'm a very positive type of person, very high energied, uplifting type of person, even though I was going through shit. Like, even though I was going through a bunch of shit, it's still, I'm still me. I was just a little more angry, a little more whatever. But it's like, bro, I don't know how to explain it, but I genuinely feel like a completely different person. And it feels like I was, like, that reborn shit is real. Like, feeling like you've been reborn after a giant traumatic experience, whether it's losing a loved one through, like, a breakup or death or whatever, whether it's just life crashing. Like, I've gone through a lot of shit. Like, you would think being homeless would be the thing that, like, I don't know, gave me the epiphany. When it was living alone for the first time that gave me the epiphany. Because now, at this point in my life, I can't end up homeless. Like, the age that my daughter is and how things, like, she wants to move with me and all these different things that have to, like, that are going to happen that requires me to be a better version of me. And, like, I was forced to become a better version of me when my ex left. Because if not, I would have ended up homeless. That would have fucked up everything in my life. And, like, But instead, I immediately got a job. I immediately saved up every fucking paycheck from that job. I immediately stopped spending money. I immediately started learning how to do this and learn. Like, I started fucking just going in on what I needed to do. And, like, these are things that I should have done. Things that I should have done years ago. But it was, like, I was self-harming years ago. I was sitting there with anxiety attacks, like somebody was sitting on my chest and I couldn't breathe years ago. I was some thug type dude years ago. But, like, years ago, I should have took the time to face myself. Years ago, I should have took the time to listen to, like, it's not like people didn't tell me or try to give me advice or try to whatever. It's me not listening. It's me thinking that I'm fucking whatever. But it's just me thinking, that, like, I know when I didn't know. Like, I didn't even know who I was. But now it's like, I know who I am. Because I know that even if, you fall in love, the girl leaves, that's fine. Like, I live alone now. So, like, I have this understanding that I didn't have because I was so used to being in a relationship. I thought I couldn't do it on my own, but I can, and I am. And not just doing it as in doing the adult thing, paying the bills, living the, like, no, like, yeah, doing that, but doing that on my own while I'm actually happy, while I'm actually not lonely, even though I'm alone, while I'm actually not self-harming, and while I'm actually not, like, I'm not anxious, I'm not depressed, I'm not, like, I'm none of that. Like, because I put the work in for an entire year of, like, being, basically taking a year to be like a hermit, be alone, worked on myself, tripped by myself, took herbs by myself, did push-ups by myself, went on hikes by myself, like, made music by myself, like, the whole thing. Learned a bunch of shit by myself, started getting more disciplined for myself, by myself, like, I started becoming a better me for me. Because in the past, I was trying to become a better me for the girl, a better me for my daughter, and that's great. Like, yeah, I need to step up, for my daughter, but no. Like, you'll never truly gain control of yourself until you step up for yourself. Like, I used to think that I needed an outside thing to motivate me. Like, my daughter, this, that. When no, all I needed to motivate me is to want to be a better version of me. That's it. That is the only thing I need. And I didn't really want to be better because I thought, like, you start thinking you're good. You start thinking I'm fine. You start thinking yada yada yada. You get complacent. You get comfortable. You can get comfortable with a shitty life, bro. You can get complacent with a shitty ass life, and think, well, I gotta learn how to enjoy it because this is where I am. Like, yeah, but you can learn, you can enjoy it and still try to get better, still try to think better, still try to feel better, still try to be better. Like, so I'm not gonna delete old videos of mine. What I am going to say is the way I live my life makes it so each year, I don't know how long this is going to happen. Maybe one year I'll finally get to fully just being me or whatever, or not changing, but it's like each year there's a better version of me. And as I look back on my old videos, like, that's just what it looks like. Like, you go back far enough, you see the old me. You go in the middle, you see in between, and then you see right now. Like, 10 years from now, there might be a slightly different version of me. But at least it's progression. And that shit Tony Robbins said is so real. You want to know the key to happiness? Progress. That's what Tony Robbins said. I agree. Because if I looked back and the old me was better than the me now, I probably wouldn't feel good about that. So I look back and I'm like, the me now is better than the person I used to be. And this isn't about trying to become better than the people you see. I feel like that is why so many people get caught in this, like, fucked up, like, shit. Because they're trying to be somebody else. They're trying to live a life like somebody else instead of figuring out what life would suit them the best and how can they try to achieve that, and, like, what do they want and how do they want to feel, how do they want to think, how do they, like, like, I had to start thinking about that shit. How do I want to think? Like, how many people think about just that thought alone? How many people have ever said to themselves, how do I want to think? Nobody. Nobody says that shit. Nobody thinks to themselves, how do I want to think? Not just like, what do you want to think, but like, how do you think? And how do you want to think? And like, we need to understand that if we can do push-ups, workout, whatever, we can get bigger arms. If you work on your mind, you'll get a better mind. Like, it just takes time, and, it just takes time. You got to put the time in yourself to become a better version of yourself. And, like, I don't know. I was just sitting here, high as a motherfucker, did a giant dab, watched an old video of mine, and was like, there's gonna be things that I, like, the old me said that, like, I'm sitting here, like, so cringed about, but the old me would be proud. So, that's all that matters. Much love, everybody.